Hey everybody, welcome back to TechOdyssey. So today I'm here with an unboxing and first impressions on another TCL phone. It was a big day the other day for TCL, 3 new phones. We already looked at the TCL 20 Pro 5G. Now we have the little brother, the TCL 20S. So we're going to go through, do our unboxing, first impressions, and take a look at it and all that jazz. But before we get into that, I do want to say if this is your first time stopping by the channel, thank you for being here. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. Now, let's take a look at this new TCL phone. And here we are with the TCL 20S. So this is like the middle brother in the 3 phones that they just had come out. The 20 Pro 5G, the 20S, also the 20SE. But you can see 64 megapixel camera, 5,000 milliamp battery, 6.67 inch screen listed there on the box. Let's go ahead and use the handy dandy unboxing tool to take the phone out and liberate it from the inside of the box. Now you're going to see once we get this out of the box and we put our unboxing tool away safely, this is a sharp looking phone. You can see there on the front of the box, it's got this beautiful gray color. I love it a lot. The 20S is definitely a more chiseled and refined product over last year's 10L, and I think you're really going to like the way that it looks. Now, 128 gigs of storage, 4 gigs of RAM, Snapdragon 665 is $249 brand new, and there we have it, folks. This is one heck of a nice looking phone. The color is called Milky Way Gray, and I happen to think that it looks really, really sharp. This is a very unique color. You can see it's got a matte finish on it there. It's not going to pick up the fingerprints. It's got the TCL branding, 1 downward firing speaker, USB-C charger, 18-watt charging. It will get you recharged pretty decently for a 5,000 milliamp battery. Plenty of power for all day. You've got the fingerprint sensor built into the power button there. I like that. At this price point, it works well. It's nice and responsive. Volume rocker, up and down, headphone jack. It's got a headphone jack for those of you guys and gals who like to have that on there. 16 megapixel front-facing selfie camera. It shoots 1080p at 30 frames per second on the front and the back. Also have slow-mo video. Inside the box, we've got the SIM ejector tool. We've got a complimentary case in here, and we've got the world's most useless documentation and waste of paper. I wish they had a way you could opt out of that. Like, nobody reads it. But you've got the protective case, and I wish it had a screen protector installed. It doesn't have one. I really wish that it did. You can see the case here. It gives you some protection for the cameras, also openings for the fingerprint sensor and power button, and then a raised lip around the edges to protect the phone in case you place it down on like a flat surface so you can eliminate kind of getting those scratches. And also in the box, we've got a charging cable here, USB Type A to USB Type C. So you're covered there with the charging cable. And in addition to that, we also have a power brick here. So you've got everything you need in the box minus the screen protector, but you can charge it, you can protect it with the case and all that great stuff. And I like that it's a clear case because it really is a beautiful looking phone. You want to be able to show this thing off. It is a very, very sharp looking device. So that's all I've got on the unboxing. Let me go ahead and get it set up and we'll come back. So if you know a lot about TCL phones, this phone may look kind of surprising to you on a spec sheet, and that's because it's very similar to last year's TCL 10L, which was widely regarded as a very good, very successful phone, and a lot of people really liked it, myself included. I really enjoyed the phone. Well, this guy is a slight upgrade in a few different areas. It has the same processor, the Snapdragon 665, which I'm struggling with that one a little bit because it's basically identical in hardware and the platform to last year's phone. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more of an improvement, maybe a Snapdragon 730G. I think that would have been very fitting here. But Snapdragon 665, it's got voice over LTE, it's got 4G LTE, it doesn't have 5G. And moving into 2021, I know this is a budget series phone around $239. Looking at the way the world's going, I would have liked to have seen a 5G chipset in here. Even a 690 would have put us in that ballpark. So kind of curious on the selection there. 4 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of storage, expandable SD card slot, or you can have dual SIM. So you're covered there if you want to rock 2 phone numbers in this phone. Downward firing speaker, it doesn't have stereo speakers. Don't really expect it to at this price point. No IP67 dust and water resistance, no IP68. But it does have a 5,000 milliamp battery. It also has quick charge 3.0, 18 watt charging. The 5,000 milliamp battery is pretty substantial here, and that is a big upgrade over last year. Last year's TCL 10L had a 4,000 milliamp battery. This one has 5. You're going to be running all day long with this phone. This will get you into the next day. And here on the left side, we have a return of the Smart Key, which is a programmable convenience key you can set for a single press, a double press, or a long press. 4 camera setup on the back. 64 megapixel primary shooter. Then you get an 8 megapixel ultra wide, a 2 megapixel macro lens for your up close National Geographic shots. Kind of wish it was a 5, but really it's on par with last year with the 2, and then the 2 megapixel depth sensor to help out with portrait shots and night mode so you can take low light photos. So there are benefits to having that in there. It looks really nice. They call this color like Milky Way gray, I believe is the name. I like it a lot. Aesthetically, it is a better looking phone than last year's TCL 10L. They've smoothed it up a little bit. They sent it to Fat Camp. It lost a few pounds, came back, has this really sleek camera setup that I like a lot. It's a really nice looking design. So from the design perspective, I like where TCL is going with these phones. I think they have made some improvements there. Volume rocker and the power button over here on the side. Surprise, the power button also works as a fingerprint sensor, which I actually like better than the TCL 20 Pro 5G, because when you use these physical fingerprint sensor buttons, they're typically more reliable, more accurate, and typically faster as well too. So I'm happy with that. It also has facial recognition technology, so let me use my unregistered finger. Bam! Facial recognition is actually pretty quick. I'll show you one more time. So it's locked, bam, it's unlocked. So you've got all the biometrics there that you could ask for. It is running Android 11. It's nice, it's zippy. I don't really have any complaints about the performance. The Snapdragon 665 is a very formidable processor. It's got plenty of power. You can play some games, you can play PUBG, you can play Call of Duty Mobile, and it's plenty enough to power most things on a day-to-day basis. So it's not really bad from that perspective. I just wish that they would have been a little bit more ambitious and put something a little bit better in there. I mean, if you're not going to improve that much over last year's model, maybe they could have just made 2 phones instead of 3. So the screen is nice. This is actually a slight improvement. It's got a little bit bigger screen, 6.67 LCD instead of a 6.53. It's got the 16 megapixel camera right there, little peephole cutout camera at the top. I like that it's centered. I like that they moved it over there as opposed to being on the left-hand side. Some phones, they like to have them over there. It really throws things off for me. I like it right up there in the top. It's got a flat screen. It doesn't have a curved edge display, so you don't have any of that craziness going on if you don't like it. And it has a case included inside the box. Now, it's nothing to write home about. It's just the normal cheap clear case, but it protects your phone. What I really would have liked to have seen would have been a screen protector on the screen. It's very difficult to get aftermarket accessories for a lot of these lesser name, lesser popular phones, so you're kind of at the mercy of whoever decides to make one. I would have liked to have seen that, at least on the phone, because where are you going to get one? So at least it has the case in there. That's good. I appreciate that. I like the price point. I like the performance. I think it's an overall very good phone. It's just I'm struggling a little bit. I would have liked to have seen more upgrades. I mean, basically, the big changes from last year's phone are the design is more sleek. It has a 64 megapixel camera instead of a 48. It has a 5,000 milliamp battery instead of a 4,000, and a little bit larger screen. But otherwise, it's going to run exactly the same because it has the same processor. And last year's was widely regarded as a very good phone. This one will be too. But overall, I think it's a neat phone. I think that it's perfectly decent. It's very capable and it looks sharp. Now, it does have a plasticky feel to it. That's because it is plastic. It's not a stainless steel or an aluminum back. It doesn't have Gorilla Glass on it. It's just a plastic back. And that's fine if you keep the case on it. Otherwise, over time, you may get some scratches and stuff on it. But it does have a matte appearance and texture to it. So whenever you're using it, it doesn't pick up all the fingerprints. That's something I really like. I really like that TCL did that with these matte finishes on the back of the phones this year, because last year's ones really picked up some fingerprints, especially the TCL 10L. So there have been some key improvements in certain areas. It still has a headphone jack on top. If you're into that, it has high resolution audio, so that means you get 24-bit audio performance. That's pretty good. It's not 32-bit quad DAC, but it is, 24-bit, and that's as good as any other phone really that's out there in the market pretty much nowadays, because a lot of phones don't have headphone jacks. They have dongles. They're pretty much all at 24-bit audio, and 24-bit audio sounds good. Bluetooth 5, aptX, all that good stuff, so you can listen to your music with the wireless headphones as well. And they've even got some new wireless headphones that are pretty well priced, and they've got some deals on that stuff too. So that's about it on my unboxing and first impressions on the phone. I like what I see. It's a very nice phone. It's very enjoyable to use, especially for the price point. See, a lot of other phones that are targeted towards the mid-tier in the US are kind of like Google and the Pixel 4a, the 3a XL, the 3a, the Pixel 5a that's going to be coming out soon. Those are kind of around the $350, $400 ballpark. When you look at this one at $239, just over $200, there's not a lot that really competes in that space. So I think TCL is very smart in going after that and providing a very good and reliable phone experience that looks nice. Like, this doesn't look like a cheap phone. It looks like a very nice phone. It's got a nice weight and balance to it. The screen looks nice. It's perfectly bright enough, and you can do most anything that you want to do. So I give it lots of thumbs up. I just have some head-scratching moments for, I mean, it's basically like a revamped TCL 10L with a couple different bells and whistles, but very, very inexpensive, won't break the bank, and, you know, it's a good solid device. And TCL's got a pretty good reputation, I think, with their phone brand. I mean, they started their TCL branded phones this last year. This is a good sophomore offering, and I think they're trying to go out there and make a name for themselves, making good value phones with good performance that still have most everything in there that you're going to like, but they also look pretty sharp. I like that they're going after making them looking really nice, and the TCL 20S is no different. It's a good looking phone. So that's all I've got in this video. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them down in the comment section. I'll get back with you. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.